Okay guys, welcome back again to our YouTube channel, Grace Life UK. Alright, good evening guys. So I'm gonna, instead of uploading a chart, I'm just gonna upload a video as well together with the DXY read this Sunday. So that way you kind of like, you would be familiar with how I actually read them, and for future references you can just read them yourself and develop a habit of looking at the dollar index in terms of a guidance where the market will go, especially if you're trading like all the major US pair. So here we go. If you can see my screen, I always start with community outlook first. So basically we finish with Euro USD having more buyers, GBP USD having more sellers, and AUD USD having more sellers at 70%. And as always, your GBP has stayed with that short and long percentage having more buyers. And the DUSD at the same time ended up with more sellers. So it's not really clear at the moment where these pairs are gonna go. So be very careful and make sure to do and take off your reasons to why you entered the trade. And last week we kind of like, how do you say this, we predicted DXY that it will probably have a retracement at a level from the daily. So if I could just recap this, I said that if they hit this area in this candle, so if I hit this, or if they hit this, they would then have a reaction, and we'll wait and see what reaction they will do. They did, and had a 4-hour break of structure in terms of a downtrend. So this was the first break actually, but we waited for this proper break. So retest came and we got a 60% retracement at least from the highest point to the lowest point of the structure break. We fib that. If you fib that, you'll get a nearly 61.8%. But the key to this is since it's not really clear that first structure break, what you can normally do is go down to the lower time frame. And now if you go line again, you can clearly see that the structure break happened on the 2R at this area. So you can then adjust this fib to this area, and that would have been actually hit our 61.8%. And you can see anyway, it reacted with a lot of points, at least. There you go, 800. So the way you would have been targeting these potential areas it would go to after that reaction is, if you go back to the 4R, you can clearly see here, this is an area that has been mitigated by the market. That would have been a lot of liquidity and a lot of, like, let's just say a lot of sellers would have been looking at this as a potential area for the market to react to. So I would have myself, for one, would have been looking at this area. There you go. And they didn't. Instead, they smashed it and created this big imbalance. And so I would have targeted that if you were to apply this in your forex pairs. So for the likes of Euro USD, you would have been buying from this area preferably. So to give you an example, so this was the 4R structure break, although it's not really clear because that's clear on the 2R. So that was the structure break. You would have fibbed that from there, from here to the top, extend it, and you would have been able to enter a 618 or even 70 if that was a better choice for you there, and targeted this area on the 4R or 2R time frame. And you could see that this was the last liquidity that was grabbed by this big candle. And so those are like key areas you would have been targeting if you would have been able to enter this for a buy. But again, that's just a good example of how you would normally apply the read on DXY. So very good. And as you can tell, like GU is the same structure break here that broke this previous to equal highs. If you fib that, you would have been able to get a good retracement level at 618. Spot on 618. You would have been able to target this area, and that is a very clear buy to sell scenario as well on the 30-minute time frame. There you go. And if you would have been like really like doing your analysis, you would have been able to trade this for a sell. And at the same time, I was actually looking at this candle on the 30 minutes as a candle of interest that they would react to, but they smashed that. So I move on to this last one. And if you fib this on the, sorry, not fib, if you measure this on the 5-minute time frame, I know that's like kind of like a low time frame for us to be measuring things, but at the end of the day, these are the key analysis that would give you the sniper entries actually. If I haven't said that before, I'm saying it now. There you go. So, and you would have been able to get another 5-minute entry, and yeah, you can see here that's very accurate. NZDUSD is exactly the same. From that DXY read, we would have been able to get a sell, but the thing is, I was looking at this area of equal highs and liquidity and a small imbalance to be smashed. Not sure why they didn't grab it. They may or may not this coming week, because if you look at the news, there are a lot of news on NZD. So I'm keen on patiently waiting on this one. You might be able to get an entry if they start to get volatile and just wick out this area. So put an alert here just in case, and then we might get an entry. Again, you would have been looking at this candle as your entry point, first entry point. And you know me, I like trading full numbers, so that would have been my entry right there, which is clearly 1:10 ratio trade, but it never came. AUDUSD is exactly the same. There was an equal high here, so I would have been very cautious in actually entering a sell, although they reacted on this area. So if we go down to the lower time frame, we can probably see why. There you go. That would have been your entry on the 1 hour. That is actually a 4 p.m. candle, which is beside the London close. Very good sell to buy or buy to sell scenario. You would have been able to enter the sell. See here. Yep, that would have been your first entry. Measure this 50%. There you go. So you would have been looking at this area if it ever came. But yeah, price came. Touch it, sniper entry, and bang. That would have been a good entry, and you would have been targeting this kind of like another key area before the push up, and then this liquidity. So if we just measure that, just to give you an example, your stop loss would have been above this wick, and just to make sure that we get that entry right there. There you go. So that's actually a very good entry. So this would have been 8,000. So you could have put, say, 10 pips and targeted these areas. So that would have been your TP1, which is 63 pips, and TP2 around this area, which, yeah, easy. So 70, 700. So that would have been a very good trade actually. 1:7. What can I say? So this week actually the only thing I was looking at is your GBP pretty much, and GU and EU, but I never got an entry because I was really busy. If I just explain and try and explain this one, this is very tricky. So just remember, EG is probably one of the hardest pair to trade because of how it is being manipulated by the market. So sometimes EU and GU would move, and this would just be stagnant and wouldn't move at all. And sometimes EU would stall, GU would stall, would tank, and this would definitely move. So, but the way I read it is based on. So I was waiting for the structure to go up. So definitely they created this push up, sorry, and reacted to it. Although it could have been a very bad trade because it topped you out. But the thing is, from the line, it is very, it's still intact. Like, you know, it's not void because they never finished below these areas. And although they grabbed the kind of like the liquidity, so to say, that would have been able to give you an extra confidence that they would actually go up and hit these areas. So that was actually my key area right there, and that was a 618 level as well. So keen to see how they would react to this. There's not much imbalance on the daily, although on the 4-hour that is still a big area to be filled. However, if they continue to go down, then I'm in this trade. That will be in my favor because that is actually a 1-to-6 or 6-to-1 ratio as well. And last but not the least, gold. I think overall, the way I look at gold is if DXY goes up, this would probably be going down. So you're swinging gold, I'm not advising to swing this unless you're very good at reading news and the fundamental side of things. So this is just an analysis on the technical side, but not really the fundamental. You really have to apply that as well. So if I just read this would have been my entry, but it never came yet. So we'll see how it goes. It may or may not, but the way things are, they might just react to this area now at the moment. Wondering why they didn't grab this. We'll see how it goes, but definitely on the 4-hour, this is downtrend from this area. Although they broke structure with this, created an uptrend, and if you fib that, that is actually a very good entry on the 618%. So from here, go up there. There you go. 618, bang. That would have given you at least 3,000. Although I wouldn't advise swinging gold, but that's just that's just a good indication that you can actually read this from a technical perspective and fundamental. And if you combine them, you can probably get a very good results for long term buy or sell. So I think that's a very good week for us. And if we go back to DXY, my read this week then is basically I'm waiting for the market to react to this area. So they're currently on the 50 to 61% retracement from the move that they did, breaking the structure on the 2R. So clearly they broke this structure, they broke these two equal highs, and they're reacting from this area, which is a very interesting candle. That is, so that if we go, what's happening here? So if I go to the 2R, so that's an open session candle, well, within the area of the opening session candles. So this is 1 p.m, 2 p.m, and 3 p.m. So that area is very interesting for us because market pushed down as this buy to sell scenario. So you could either target this area on the 2R, or you can go up here and make sure that if they break these three structure, which they may actually either tomorrow or this week, DXY will go up very good, 100%, and smash these higher areas. There you go. You could probably grab this as a liquidity grab and react to it hard. So we'll just put blue line And this could be a very good candle of interest for us to be waiting again for the market to react to, and then this one as well. Remember, this is a daily candle, or these are two daily candles, and so I would like to see how the market respond to them whenever they're starting to hit these areas. But altogether, we want the XY to go up. That's what we're hoping this week. And yeah, so my alert is just below this or above this 618. And if I wake up tomorrow and they smash this and react to this imbalance, and never come back to this area, which a very good area, because it's yeah, split breaker. Ooh. There you go, DXY read for this week. Very easy, very straightforward. If this goes up, sell these areas. 4 major pairs. Probably AUD is interesting this week because of those. There you go, son. And a lot of movement on NZD as well. CAD, if you're trading any CAD pairs, euros. Yeah, so good movement this week. Look at that. Make sure to look at GU as well. These are happening on the later stage of this week, so don't trade Monday. Let the market come to you, even on Tuesday, and then definitely on Wednesday start getting those sniper entries. Let me know if it helps. If it doesn't make sense, let me know as well. Ask any questions. I'm more than happy enough to answer any questions. And as always, God bless, guys. Peace.